stream. We pretty much spent an hour on the last part of Mission 6 in Alien Isolation, if you're familiar. That was a tedious task, to put it lightly. Let me invite some people here. See if they want to play. I know Killer Jake used to play with me. I don't know... I know Iron Man is someone he would bring. I know Kappa Spidey used to come in, but I don't want to hassle him. Alright. I'll just have Killer J come in. See if he wants to. I'll invite him over. I don't care if he wants to or not. He's probably busy. Alright, let's do this. Thanks everybody for coming in. If you're here after the stream's up, let me know you're here. We got a short one for you. We're just going to play some HVV to cool down after an intense Alien Isolation stream. I spent all this time being patient through that game. What's up, Sigurd? You're literally playing Knights of the Old Republic on your Xbox right now? Good for you. Sigurd, have I told you about my trip to the Devil's Courthouse up in the mountains? I haven't shut up about it, and I'm not going to shut up about it till I finish that video. What up, Jacob? General Kenobi. Please do fill you in. Alright, so I was going to hit 3 destinations. I was going to hit the Devil's Courthouse, Courthouse Falls, and Graveyard Field, because I love all the names of them. And they're all really close to each other, and they're all in Transylvania County, North Carolina, which is a sick name. Place with Transylvania County has 250 waterfalls in it, by the way, a little fun fact. And I wanted to see some of them, see if any of them had frozen over. So I get to the top of the mountains up on the ridge where Devil's Courthouse is, and it's just solid ice, high winds, crazy day. There's been abandoned cars all along the road, and I have no idea why. There's shut down roads. I just figure it's because of ice. I see that the Blue Ridge Parkway is closed off, and that's the only way to where I was hiking, so I was like, alright, well, I'm going to try to drive to the waterfalls, see if that trail's open. That trail is certainly closed. It has a $10,000 fine on it. And I hear some sneaking around. There's an abandoned Jeep. I go back to my car because I feel a little uneasy, and I'm not going down that trail if there's a fine. What's up, Nil? Really bad. It didn't show that you started. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks, Nil. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like me, but I'm going to continue the story. I think Nil's heard it. But I decide I'm going to go and just walk along the Blue Ridge Parkway because that's perfectly legal if it's closed. You just can't drive on it. So I do that. I get my camera stuff and audio equipment out of my car and notice there's a smell, and there's like poop smeared all over my tire and a bag stuck to it. So the sneaking I heard was someone probably like sticking poop on my tire for some reason. And I don't see anybody that whole day except for 2 other groups on the Blue Ridge Parkway that were also hiking like I was. I get to the peak, it's beautiful. I don't regret it one bit, even though I only got to do one thing that I planned to do, because the new journey was an experience of its own. And I get back to the town near where my little brother lives, because I was going to visit him on the way home. And lo and behold, some man at a restaurant asks me where I was hiking by. I tell him I was like up by the Devil's Courthouse. It was all closed off. There were some weird experiences. Dude put poop on my car. And he goes, oh yeah, the reason why there was that fine and all those things are closed off is because there's a bunch of fugitives hiding up there, and they're armed and they've been like killing people. So the odds are that an armed and dangerous fugitive was hiding in a bush with a bag full of poop, waiting for me to park my car so he could smear poop all over my tire. What up, Thomas? Welcome in. So that was my trip this weekend, and I didn't get a photo of any of the abandoned cars or any of the poop, because I just figured I didn't feel comfortable taking pictures of the abandoned cars, so I didn't know the story behind them, and I just figured it was just weirdo poop. I didn't know it was like possibly armed fugitive poop. So I'm gonna tell that story in my next hiking video, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to tell it because I can't find any news stories on it. The latest news report I can find on fugitives up where I was hiking is from 4 years ago, and that story is great. I might just tell that one as a thing instead. But yeah, I've gone through and gotten 2 other confirmations that there are in fact fugitives up there. One of the people that I got confirmation from was someone I know who is in jail, and he was like, yeah, there's a situation up there, and a lot of people in where he's locked up in, which is in the mountains, go to the Smokies to hide out when they're out of jail. So that's a little detail of confirmation. I won't disclose any sources because they all didn't want to be disclosed, but I went hiking up in the Devil's Courthouse. It was Pisgah Ridge, but Pisgah Ridge is a huge ridge. It spans several counties. I can't remember the name of the gap where I parked off of. Damn it, dude. I freaking gang squad, man. The timing couldn't be worse for you too, Thomas? Yeah. Well, I was telling the story to Sigurd, because he asked about it. I won't shut up about that story. I could have died. Like, the dude could have easily killed me and stole my car and, like, gone to some other part of the mountains where they weren't searching for fugitives. And he decides to put poop on my car instead. What if the alien cosplayed as Vader? Hey! That'd be extra spooky. Would they need the Force if they're a xenomorph? Or would they just be a master destroyer already? Yeah, I don't know for a fact that it was a fugitive that put poop on my car. But the possibility is present. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I know about the mysteries around the Devil's Courthouse. That's part of the stories that I tell during the hiking video. I guess I should have buried the lead, huh? I should have just said, like, hey, crazy thing happened up in the mountains. But I didn't want to, like, hype you guys up and not have any for you guys to find out that I didn't have any pictures of the poop or anything. Because I didn't know. I didn't know it was potentially fugitive poop. And there's a possibility that that's evidence, but I didn't know. Like, it was off my car by the time I found out that it could have been evidence, so I hope I'm not in any danger there. So yeah, I told Cleasy about the hauler people up in the Appalachians that are pretty sketchy. It could have also just been a hauler person. Unscratch that sleek. Oh, nice. I need to switch who I'm playing as. You ran out of space for numbers. You find it weird how Anakin can fight Vader? Yeah. It's almost as if they're, like, not the same person, right? I'm kidding. I know they're the same person. It'd be funny if we just, like, if all of us were just in on it, and we're like, yeah, like, where are you getting that from? What makes you think that Vader and Anakin are the same person? Anakin's the chosen one. What are you talking about? Damn it. How haven't you heard of what, Cleasy? Yeah, people die up there. The mountains are all weird. If you look up a map of cave systems corresponding with hang on. Damn it. Yeah, we're gonna get crushed. Cave systems corresponding with missing persons, you'll see that there's a density of both caves and missing persons up in the Appalachians. But my suspicion on that is that it's probably just holler people. Holler people are usually people who try to avoid other people. They live in things called hollers, which are like narrow valleys, because they don't have to interact with people. People rarely go down them. And they're typically the descendants of moonshiners. So like crimes in their family. They only trust their family. I've actually had friends that were holler people, and they were not good people. And you don't want to be friends with them. Oh, Cleasy. Potentially Cleasy. It could have just been a weirdo smearing poop on my car.
Anger and hate seize the day as Kylo Ren brings the match.
Sounds like Alabama. It's not too that. Don't fact check you on this, but you think they're making Outlast 3? They are making another Outlast game. It's going to be an online game. It's going to be multiplayer. I think it's like going to be 4 players, and one of the players is like trying to find them. I will be getting that game when it's out, and I plan on playing it as soon as I can. If it's available on a system I have, because I do have a PC, but I don't really like setting up the PC gaming on that computer, because in my brain that computer is specifically for video editing and like programming stuff and just creative projects. I try to keep it sacred with no distractions, but I might have to bail on that to stream video games for you guys. Also, the same dude who broke the news to me that there was fugitives up where I was hiking, he also told me where I could find a crashed airplane near Mount Mitchell. He told me the mile marker, where to find it, and which direction to head from that mile marker. So I plan on heading there in like the spring or summer. Probably like late summer. Because if you go in the spring, that's when the bears are coming out of hibernation. And that's usually when they're most aggressive. And then when they're going into hibernation, if they haven't gotten enough to eat, they get into a hurry and they start killing people. Thomas says, dude, I was editing something on Scratch and the shitty site decided not to save the sprite and delete. Fuck. That's so annoying. I was editing, so I got new audio and video equipment for my hikes and other stuff. And my first trip out was that trip to the Devil's Courthouse on Saturday. And I was having such a pain. Like the audio came out amazing. You guys are gonna really, really like it, I think. The video came out beautifully. It's really, really good. But I don't like editing it. Technology doesn't work. All of my computers decided they weren't going to continue working the way they normally have as soon as I start editing these new things. DaVinci Resolve decided it wasn't going to behave the way it's behaved every other time I've used it. It made like a 2-hour ordeal out of cutting like 3 minutes of audio out of this, because I'm editing the audio first, and then I'm going to put the video around the audio that I end up with. That's currently my philosophy, and I'm trying to keep it around 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And only adding other time to the video if it's more time to the video if it really deserves it. So like I'm probably gonna do like for that Devil's Courthouse one, if I can find the stories of who the fugitives are up there, because nobody's reporting on it except for like, I guess local channels, and I can't find any of those local channels because it's a very rural county.
I am most displeased.
Damn it. So it's pretty difficult finding information on stuff like that.
And here we go.
I don't want to just like have the story of the fugitives up there and not have anything to show of it except for like a fugitive that was there 4 years ago. Just to say like, hey, yeah, fugitives actually do go up here. Have a good night, Jacob. Thanks for coming in. .30 degrees Fahrenheit. That's good. That's good. That's like just below freezing. It's not bad.
The academy wasn't worthless after all. So this is happening.
Oh, goodness. What's funny about the thing happening Saturday, as well as like just the sheer randomness of it, is that the day before I had written in my journal about allowing for chance to happen. Like I got a schedule to keep track of things. I have a big trip planned later this week. And I was talking about how, like, this year, in my journal, I was like, I'm gonna keep 3 things open. My schedule, like, book, where I keep, like, a schedule. My Bible, because I've been reading it constantly. And, my time is gonna stay open. Like, I'm gonna allow for interruptions.
I can guess.
And had I not allowed for chance, had I not, allowed for things to be different, Saturday would have happened. Because like, with all the roads closed, I wasn't able to do all the locations I wanted. The ice and the wind and the situation up there turned what normally would have been a half-mile hike into a two-mile hike one way and a 2-mile hike back, and it was all through literally ice and high winds. So if you guys want to know something that'll pull your leg muscles, try going up a half-mile that's very steep, that's just straight ice, and trying to like not slide all the way down. Let's see, Thomas said, hopefully you can find info. Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell the story regardless, but I'd like to have things to back it up, you know, because otherwise people are going to be like, you're full of shit. And it's like, I might be. You know, I don't know. I don't know who put the fucking poop on my car, but that did happen. I didn't get a stupid picture of it, and it bothers me. I've never once been so bothered by not getting a picture of poop.
You forced this battle.
I see.
Like,
Boss,
I don't want people to have to rely on my word of mouth. Do I like anime? Hervis asks. I do not. No,
the whole system is failing.
I think I got into... When I was little, I'd watch Full Metal Alchemist with my brother. My oldest brother watches Cowboy Bebop. I had friends that would watch Attack on Titan, and I'd watch that in passing.
Cover, get to cover.
Yeah, I've never been able to get into it though.
Tell me someone saw them.
Oh, this weekend, Cleasy, if you're still here, you're going to be excited about where I'm going this week and the beginning of next week. I'm going to be going to the coast of North Carolina, and I know you're super into the Outer Banks. I'm going to try and get some footage and make a few videos out in the Outer Banks.
When you're good, you're good.
I won't be able to get to the island where Blackbeard died, but I'll probably be able to see it from one of the lighthouses you can climb. The reason why I won't be able to get to that island is because the ferries don't run during the winter in that particular area, because it's all state-run ferries in that spot to that island that I can find. The state-run ferries run from June to August. No problem, Thomas. This is a short stream anyway, so thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. We're doing like a 30-minute stream.
Commanding performance.
You're excited for the vlogs? Yeah.
yourself.
I'm hoping that I can get them edited in time to where I can have one out each week. I'm gonna do them on a second channel. I plan to name the channel Your Mum. I know you guys have heard that. Also, I will most likely not be streaming from the 13th of January to the 19th of January, just as a heads up. If I do, it'll be during the day, and it will not be video games. So if you guys have suggestions of what you'd like to see me do a stream of, and it's not likely that it will happen because I'm going to be occupied traveling. On Saturday, I'll be going to a Hurricanes game, which I'm really excited for. It's going to be the Hurricanes versus the Canucks. Cleasy's taking over the channel for those 6 days. Yeah! Is the end of stream... This is not the end of stream, not yet. I'm going to do one more round of something. I kind of want to pilot something. Like, if you guys find like a open source, not open source, public domain movie I can do free movie something. Maybe Free Movie Friday, but I'll be staying, it looks like I'll be staying at somebody's beach house that day, and I would like, I'm going to have to be respectful on those evenings. Vlog the NHL game. I have to think about how I'm going to do that. My buddy Skylar told me to do like a urban exploration type thing in the stadium. But the thing is, my brother is the one who's paying for the tickets, and I don't want to get us kicked out when he's paid a lot of money for those tickets. They're charging a lot. I don't want to like just be like holding a camera out in front of me the whole game, just being like, oh, oh. You know, I have my limits. I want to, if I can find a way to like make it adventurous, I plan to. But yeah, I'll also be doing some video around Raleigh, which is the capital of North Carolina. If you guys are interested in that, I don't really know where I would go. Probably like the capital, like I don't know what it's called, but there's like a strip of road where there's a bunch of museums and a Capitol building and the state senate stuff. Bring a shitty hat in case someone gets a hat trick. I'm gonna wear my Hurricanes hat. I have a Hurricanes hat from when the Lightning beat the Hurricanes last year. I was at that game and got the Hurricanes out of the playoffs. I bought that hat, and it's the hat I've been wearing ever since. Unless it's really cold, then I wear my wool hat that you guys will probably see in the Devil's Courthouse video. I feel like Far Cry 6 might suck.
Our turbo laser's still active. For now, defend those generators.
I played one Far Cry game and it was pretty good. I don't know about Far Cry 6. I don't want to play as the First Order to close this out. Come on. Does my brother watch hockey? Yeah, so he's from Raleigh, and out in Raleigh is where a lot of people are hockey fans, because that's where their Hurricane Stadium is. Where I'm from is in the Charlotte area, and we have the Hornets and the Panthers, and there's a local baseball team. That's what the people around here are into. That most of the people where I live don't even know that we have a hockey team. But out in Raleigh, they're big fans of the Hurricanes, and they don't pay attention to the Panthers or the Hornets. They pay attention to the college teams because they have NC State there, and it's in the Triad, which is a very dense area of like colleges and research. I keep picking the wrong thing. So they like their college sports out in Raleigh. Just another cultural divide between the eastern side of the state and the western side. There's even different types of barbecue on each side of the state, but I actually like the eastern side barbecue. I'm ashamed to say it. The western side is usually ketchup based or tomato based, and I'm not really into ketchup. Eastern Carolina uses that style barbecue uses vinegar as a base, and I really like that type. I don't know if I think Unknown Regions is the First Order one. I don't play as First Order. And then South Carolina uses a mustard base for their barbecue. I don't think anybody was wondering, but it's a little difference between the areas. Something I hope to notice while I'm out on the coast. I'm going to try to pick things out, even though I won't be around very many people, being out in the wilderness and historic areas. There you go, Ryloth is good. Another spot I'm going to try to get footage of. I don't know if I'm allowed to film in it, but I'm going to go into a World War II battleship that is harbored out in Wilmington, because North Carolina produced most of the naval like battleships and carriers and stuff for World War II, and they still do produce some ships for the Navy out on the coast of North Carolina. And the USS Carolina, I believe it's called, is harbored right in the harbor of Wilmington, and it was at every major battle on the Pacific front, and it was reported to have sunk 6 times, though it didn't. They just believed it had. So that'll be cool, but I don't know if I'll be able to get footage of on the inside. I'll try to sneak some. I probably won't be able to use my DSLR, because that's a little obvious. I'll probably use my camera that I've been using for the hiking videos. Alright, we gotta protect the bombers. We're an interceptor. Our job is to protect things that do the objective. There they are.
Public bombers inbound. Keep those clankers off them.
Another location I plan on going near Wilmington is,
Almost got it.
I forget the name of the fortress. I think it's Fort Fisher. It was the largest fort in the Confederacy, in the Confederate States of U.S. were during the Civil War, and
Get out of there.
It's also the location of the largest naval landing until World War II. There was 9,000 Union troops stormed the fortress, and 52 battleships were involved in eliminating that fort.
From the equation.
Are there any Civil War forts in the US? I think I just answered that question, actually. How big was the Civil War? It was huge. It was the deadliest conflict in the United States history until World War II. And it was where the first like submarines were used. The first, it was when trench warfare was first used. It was a big deal. A lot of people died. And it was fought differently depending on what region of the U.S. you were in.
The reactor can't take much more. We almost have this.
And each state had its own reasons, and obviously, like all of them that I've read up on, cite slavery as one of the reasons for seceding. So it's interesting to read each state's reasoning.
Strategic calculations.
Yeah, the submarines, they didn't fully submerge, but they like would submerge and like just the very tippy top would remain above water. I can't remember what they were called. Yeah, I can look this up. Maybe I can, there's a maritime museum on the Outer Banks that I might be able to find remains of one, because one of the other places I'm going to is known as the Graveyard of the Atlantic because of how many shipwrecks there have been, because North Carolina's coast is very treacherous, and hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate why, because from the top of one of the lighthouses you should be able to see the shoals under the water, because there's under the water there's sand dunes that are constantly moving. Let me look it up. Submarines. I can't remember if it was the Confederates or Union that used them first. Submarines and Civil War. Here we go. Yeah, the Confederacy made more use of submarines than the Union. The goal of the Confederate subs was to sink Union ships and help break the blockade the Union had around the South. That's what the they were using it for. The reason why the largest fort of the Confederates was outside Wilmington was because the Outer Banks creates a good shield that's difficult to navigate, and Wilmington is in a river, so you just put a fortress in front of the river and ships can't get past, so like it was a place where blockade runners would get in, and the governor of North Carolina at the time would use that as leverage to make sure that certain Confederate rules weren't imposed on North Carolina people, because there's some pretty janky rules that the Confederates would do, and like they'd hang people that were pro-Union, but in North Carolina at the time the vote to secede was like 51% to 49%. So like the governor made sure that the Confederates didn't hunt down people that were pro-Union in the state, because he was like, they're still North Carolinians. It's a pretty interesting thing. Yeah, the first fully submersible was, that's correct, Juanita. I don't know why they always put that, they're just bots. It's really annoying. YouTube is supposed to deal with them.
Fighter destroyed. Protect the generators.
Yeah, I think North Carolina was the second to last state to secede during the Civil War.
Enemy fighters have begun their attack
And I
run.
know one of the
Stop them.
reasons was, like, obviously slavery is one, like, the main reason for the Civil War. People always, like, there was like, well, don't forget about that. I'm like, yeah, history. Everybody knows that part, but like, there's parts of it, like, North Carolina was in between Virginia and South Carolina, where both of those states have seceded, and if had North Carolina stayed in the Union, then it would have become a giant battleground. This is really interesting history. And it ended up becoming a big battleground at the very end. I think the last battle of the Civil War was fought in North Carolina.
Away from the generators.
Mississippi had to be the last? I don't remember.
Enemy vessel
I know the reason why West Virginia exists is because West Virginia wasn't sympathetic to the slavery. Usually the mountain regions didn't have a whole lot of slaves. It was usually the coastal regions that had a lot of slaves. Particularly around Charleston. Charleston was the big slave market during that time. And Charleston is a place that I intend to go to. There's more history to it than just slavery, but it's one of the reasons why it's interesting, is that there's that part of history in it. I don't know if the markets are preserved, though, but I know there's a house. I've been to Charleston, and there's a house that's covered in this like weird mechanism of turning spikes, because there was once a slave revolt at that person's house, and they just surrounded it with spikes that are still there to this day, so that people wouldn't break in. I don't know if I need to look that up. Who the last was to secede?
You've shaken them. Well done.
Let me look it up. Let's see. Who's the last to secede? Last state to secede here. Oh, North Carolina was the last. I thought North Carolina was the second to last. Let's see here. Let's see. Alright, and then... Okay, never mind. This article is all wonky. It's like written like every state's the last one. So I take that back. Let's see here. Why isn't this history? Google's really suck lately. Secede from the Union. Four states. West Virginia seceded from Virginia. West Virginia remained either in the Union or they remained a neutral state. I don't remember. But Virginia seceded and West Virginia disagreed. That's why West Virginia exists. Yeah, and then four slave states stayed in the Union. Those were Delaware, Kentucky, Maryland, and Missouri. They did not join the Confederacy. And then, let's see here. This isn't a complete history. It just stops in 1862. It went on for like 2 years later, or 3 years. I don't know why this is so difficult to find on Google. Like, the answer Google gives is wrong by the article that it cites. Here, when states seceded. Maybe that'll work. Alright, so South Carolina was the first, then Mississippi, then Florida, then Alabama, then Georgia, then Louisiana, then Texas, then Virginia, then Arkansas, then North Carolina, and then Tennessee. So Tennessee was the last one. There we go. Yeah, it would be cool. One of the places I'm going to, the Lost Colony. Most people here, let me see here. Most people that didn't realize that the main reason most states seceded was because of the taxes that went to put on southern goods transported to the north. Yeah, that was a part of it, and I mean, one of the reasons why people like say that still has to do with slavery was because one of the reasons they say that Lincoln imposed those taxes was due to the slavery. Civil War history is super interesting, but only ever one part of it is talked about. Like, it doesn't, and one of the most annoying things about it is that when you say you're interested in it, people just assume that you're like defending slavery, and it's like, that's not, like, whenever I try to talk about anything other than like the aspects of slavery around the Civil War, people assume that I'm defending it, and I'm like, that's not at all what I'm doing. I'm just talking about history. Roanoke, yep, on the Lost Colony of Roanoke. Thanks for getting me on topic, Cleese. The colonists weren't the last ones to seek freedom there. During the Civil War, the Union held a contraband camp on Roanoke Island, and in the same fort where the colonists went missing, they held former slaves. Like, former slaves would go there to be freed, and then the Union would employ them, educate them, and give them a parcel of land on the island. Yeah, I'll be heading to Roanoke Island. I'll be going to where the Lost Colony is. I'm going to go check out Manteo, which is one of the cities. It's the closest city on the island to the Lost Colony. I'm also hoping to check out the Victorian Gardens, I think they're called, or Elizabethan Gardens. There's a 10-acre garden on this island. That's probably pretty interesting, and it was done in the style that they would have done gardens when the colony was around. So I'll be going there. I'll be going where the Wright brothers did their first flight on Kitty Hawk, because that's literally like 20 minutes north of Roanoke Island, and then the largest sand dunes in the East Coast are 20 minutes north of Roanoke Island, and then I'll be heading an hour south down the Outer Banks towards Hatteras, which is where the tallest brick lighthouse is located. And there's a whole reason for that. That's where the graveyard of the Atlantic is, where a bunch of shipwrecks happened. Piracy shit. Civil War stuff. Like I believe either that lighthouse or another one were torn down by Confederates so that the Union wouldn't know where to sail to, because the North Carolina coast is very difficult to navigate. And it was used as a blockade breaking point. It's the only place where they could get supplies from other countries into that area at the time. Have a good night, Neil. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for sticking around. I thought you were going to leave earlier. There's another part of there's a few other parts of the coast that I will not be able to get to, but it's kind of a practical choice that I'm not going there because they would be more interesting at other times of year. Like the reason why the Lost Colony will be interesting is because this is around the time of year that they would have left. Section 6. Well, see, the Confederate Constitution only really applied to South Carolina, from what I was able to find, because each state had their own reasoning. Like they each had their own Article 1, Section 9. I'll check it out. Let's see. Like one of the reasons why the North Carolina governor had issue with Lincoln was because of the suspension of habeas corpus, because he was a lawyer and he really cared about that right, and there was some shady things that Lincoln had done. Although I'm going to make it clear that I think it's great that he freed slaves and ultimately they were the good guys, because I don't want anybody to misinterpret what I'm saying. But he also imprisoned dissenters, which is something that a lot of people took issue with, but it wasn't the main issue. You always have to be very careful when you're talking about this stuff, because it's a sensitive topic for some people. I like to look at it as like history. You know, I don't look at it as like something to get butthurt on. It's all interesting to me, because it's just a different time, and the world was so different at that time. Article 1, Section 9. I'll read it. Yeah, that is interesting, actually. I recommend people read that. I can't read that out loud because of the language. I'm worried about getting beaned, but Article 1, Section 9 of Confederate Constitution is an interesting thing to read. I know that in order for black men to serve in the Confederate Army, they needed to be freed. They didn't allow slaves to serve, obviously. And there was 3,000 freed black men that served in the North Carolina Army that I know of, and then 20,000 went to the Union to serve the Union and fight for the freedom of, you know, their brothers, which is honorable. Yeah, it seems that Juanita knows quite a bit about the history here. Probably more than I do if they know that, like the articles and clauses and stuff. It's a very interesting topic. I like the whole situation, because it was pretty much like we live in the Union now. Yeah, that's the country that won that. It was like there was two different countries at one point for like a 6-year period where the U.S. is. I think Cleasy went to bed. I'm waiting for this round. I want to get one more round in. I don't want to end on Confederate history. That will not be the focus of my trip. It's just there's going to be portions of it where that's there, and it's interesting to talk about. But there's a lot more modern things that have happened in these regions as well that are pretty cool. Like the first flight happened, and that's like world changing. There's quite a few shipwrecks, of course. There's the World War II ships that got built. The Mastodon That's another thing I plan on checking out. Is the aquarium, I think it is, near Wilmington has the first mastodon skeleton, and it was discovered to the west of the islands. So I think that would be inland. So that part of the state would have been submerged at that time if a mastodon was found there. Or maybe a mastodon just like leapt into the air and flew. You don't know. Maybe they could have flown at that time. Alright, we're gonna have to exit this and try to find another match. I want to get one more match in. Yeah, I probably should talk about my trip before I do it, because I'm kind of like telling people all of the things I'm going to talk about in these videos, so they're not going to watch them. Not that anybody's going to watch them anyway. I get like 10. I put so much work into these things, and they get like 10 views. Let's see here, starfighters maybe. See what we can get. That's a no. Let's do standard starfighters. Okay, that one's not working. Galactic Assault. Why is nobody, like, everybody's just, like, disappeared off the face of the earth all of a sudden? There's nobody in the game, and my chat is telling me there's 0 people watching all of a sudden. I know Cleasy went to bed, and Nil went to bed. Galvin 4? Alright, I'll take Galvin 4. Alright. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy actually, but the show must go on, you know? I'm not done with the stream. I'm trying to, like, get one more round in. I think I did that one more round, actually. People keep talking to me and I lose track of things. Alright, let's get in this.
For the Rebel Alliance!
Ah, damn it. Let's get in it. Oh, Juanita's still here. Thanks for sticking around. Are you new to the channel? Have I met you before? I usually try to say hi to the new people. I don't recognize the name, but you could have changed your username.
Grenade out!
This blast is cool. Twisted Homie, what'd you say here? What do I play on? I play on PS4. Yeah, we got Obi-Wan with us. Ah, damn it. I got blasted. I usually don't play with the viewers unless I, like, really know them. Unless it's like Mortal Shell or Rocket League. Or not Mortal Shell, Splitgate or Rocket League. Both Splitgate and Rocket League allow you to add people in-game instead of like via the PlayStation thing. So it makes it really cool to hang out with the viewers on those games. I don't know when I'll do the next one. It'll be at least maybe after the 19th, because that's after my trip ends. If anybody's interested in that one.
We'll bring this empire down!
Here we go.
Camp is under fire!
Auto guns ready.
There's people up here. Damn it. Oh, you're new, Juanita? Well, welcome to the channel. I usually do video game live streams every night, but you caught me at a weird time because from the 13th to the 19th, I'll be working on like traveling and getting videos and stuff. I usually also do hiking videos, but that'll be moving off this channel to a second channel that I plan on just naming Your Mum. Just because they get buried in all the gaming content I hear. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned for that. I currently have a whole playlist. There's about 17 hiking videos I have up. So if you're into that type of thing. If you like history, then there's one at the Lansford Canal Park. There's two of them at the Lansford Canal Park that talk about a canal that was built in South Carolina and how it failed and why it failed. And it's exploring some ruins that are in the woods. The 1 HP glitch? Ah, damn. Yeah, you must be a PC player, man. That sucks. No, hang on. I want to play this. I want to be this guy. There we go. We're in the U-Wing. I never get to play in the U-Wing.
Not this time! Stop the Imperials! Don't let the East Station slip away! Fight!
There we go. I got someone. Ah, it's lagging. There people are. How am I supposed to hit people with this thing? I'm hitting them. I'm getting the hit icon. Ah, it's lagging so much. That sucks.
They control the East Station now. If we lose the west side, they will enter the base.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh shit, that's Grievous. Aw, man, I keep getting so close to getting the kills. I don't usually play this this mode. When I do, I usually try to pilot, but there's no starfighters in this map.
The base is safe now.
Oh goodness. Come on, I flew over Grievous there. That's not fair. What? Why do people have to run in front of me right when I'm shooting my rocket launcher? Worst luck, man. I got real lucky with Alien Isolation just at the very end of my Alien Isolation stream before this one. I'm gonna upload that. Yeah, I need to get that edited
Turret installed.
right after this one. This stream's over. If you're interested in that. It'll be a brief video, but it'll pretty much summarize that whole stream. I was practically crawling through this one level for an hour, which is about as fun as it sounds, and you can't talk because the alien can hear you in that game. So like, it's just me quietly crawling while the alien tries to find me, and then occasionally dying because the alien finds me.
Not good! They're overriding the West Control Station!
It's an excellent game. It's a lot of fun. It's just some dude checking, doing like maintenance and shit.
West station compromised. Override sequence running.
Oh man, somebody got me a... Okay, I was like, I thought that somebody got a direct hit on me with a rocket. I was like, while I'm flying, you got a direct hit with a rocket? That's crazy. Alright, the Imperials are gonna get in, but we did alright. You know, I found some pretty cool channels recently that read all of their super chats. Maybe I should use that as like a way to advertise the channel. I don't know. Is that too grifty? What do you guys think? I know I got 2 new people in the chat, so maybe I'll get your opinion on it. If you're my normal viewers, they'd say do it, but I need an honest opinion. Basically buying ad space on someone else's channel. I mean, I feel like that's fair. They read all the super chats, paying them a little bit, like $10 to read my username and what I do. Plus I like them, so I probably like their audience.
Grenade out! For the Rebel Alliance!
Ah! Damn. I don't think I've gotten a single kill yet. I have 1 kill and 12 deaths. That's real stream worthy right there.
Briefing room database compromised.
I didn't make it.
Palpatine has joined the Imperials. We must be cautious.
Rebel Alliance! Auto guns ready.
Okay, those are friendly Wisties. I'm so used to Wisties always being hostile. I didn't even notice that dude was out there.
Center under attack!
Let's do rocket jumper. I'm gonna get another kill. What? Am I on the other team? What the hell is going on here?
Command center signal interrupted.
I think it switched teams on me? It showed one of my squad mates as a stormtrooper. I think this game's broken. Not just on PC. Save me, Ray, save me! Ah!
Still data we have to protect. Get to the briefing room.
Oh shit. Oh, that Ray just died.
Unidentified ally fighting stormtroopers.
I hear Vader's wah wah wah. It was a lightsaber.
Resecured.
There's Iden. Or no, that's just a death trooper. Oh, damn it. So close to getting 3 kills there, and I just die before it. Great.
Couldn't keep him out of the briefing room.
Let's get in it. There we go, I had the bomb. I got a grenade that's gonna do area damage to anybody in that objective for a moment. Ah, we lost. Alright, thank you guys for showing up. It was nice meeting you, Juanita and Twisted Homie. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully I see you guys on another stream. I'll be streaming tomorrow night and probably Wednesday night. I don't know about Thursday night. But, yeah. If you guys see me after the 19th, be sure to say hi and remind me that I know you. Have a good night. I'll see you guys next time.